Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Left Hook. I am your host, Mark Bland. As always, we appreciate you guys listening to us on all of your CBS affiliates here in the Midwest that you listen to this great show on. My name is Mark Bland. This is The Left Hook. Today we have a huge show. Jason Kull is here, so I'm excited about that. Jason?
We are ready.
Trump is releasing the Epstein files. All will, a month of scrubbing. With a month of scrubbing in there. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But, Yep, ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge show to talk to you about. And I'm sure you're like, the Democrats this and the Democrats that, and the Democrats this and the Democrats that. We got it. You don't like Democrats. They just happened. Can we really talk about this real quick, Jason?
Yes.
Can we have a conversation with the American people for a second?
We should.
Welcome to the show, everyone. We host a moderate / sort of liberal, political, independent politics and pop culture show is what we do. Okay, and it's called The Left Hook. And we are technically moderates, and as Jason has, you are a Democrat.
Yes, I've always said I was a Kennedy Democrat.
A Kennedy
Old
Democrat.
School Democrat.
That's what I was trying to say originally, but
Yes.
I didn't have the Kennedy part there. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's tough, Jay. It's tough. I'm sorry. It's just really tough to get on the show each week with the way that this country is running, the things that we are seeing, even some of the things that we just talked about at the top of the show that we've been dealing with for months and months. When we had Occupy Democrat show, we were talking about the Epstein files. Yeah. By the way, yesterday, I don't know if you noticed this, but yesterday, Donald Trump came out of nowhere to introduce Susie Wiles to the entire world and say she's the most powerful woman on earth, and that she can end wars and end them with a phone call. Okay, now, we famously went on to the Occupy Democrat show when it first aired in the first week back in May of 2025. They had just gotten into office earlier in the year. Not many people even knew who she was or what she was. We talked about Susie Wiles having a position of power, and now he just came out and straight up said she can end wars with a phone call. She's got that power. Like, I listened to her. Okay, what we said on the Occupy Democrat show, Jason, Susie Wiles was mom. She played chief of staff and mom for Donald Trump, and she's the one who could get into his ear and calm him down when he was having his temper tantrums, and that's why Steve Bannon had to go, and she had to jump in for the second term.
She was going to keep him cool.
Even though Steve Bannon and Trump are still friends. They still are friends. They still talk, and so is Elon Musk and Trump. They're still friends. And by the way, we went on our show at Occupy Democrats. We said this was not going to last. They would end up being friends again. We said it, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like Omar and the Occupy Democrats people picked really smart, good, educated researchers for everything with politics, because we nailed it over and over. We talked about them dragging their feet on the Epstein stuff. We talked about everything. There wasn't nothing that we didn't touch. Now, putting that all onto the board, America, have you had enough yet? Like, seriously, I'm not even trying to be funny, Jason. I'm not even trying to be facetious or mean. Have you had enough of the Donald Trump experiment 2.0 yet? Because it's only going to keep getting more and more and worse and worse. They're already saying the ICE agents that they keep hiring for things are unvetted. They are not, and when I say unvetted, I don't mean veterans, young people. I mean they're unvetted. They are not being looked at. Their resumes are not being checked. No one knows where these people are coming from. Some have sexual abuse cases in their past.
Like, most have criminal records.
Criminal records, like stuff that you should... Guys, criminals are not the best at figuring out who should be allowed to still run with the laws or not. They aren't.
No, it's almost like they ask him, do you have a mask? And do you have your own vehicle? Here's a gun. Here's a vest. Otherwise, get out of here. You don't have a uniform.
But that's what it is, Jason. Yeah. It's we're not putting any effort in.
Like, ICE agents literally look like you and I right now.
Right.
If we put a mask on and put a vest on.
And put on this Adidas jacket or something and just went outside. Here we go. Let's go. Like, okay.
We're ICE agents.
Well, after years of Kash Patel going on podcasts and complaining about the Epstein files and the pedos inside it, he was not responsible for releasing them like he claimed he would be. And that is because Trump is all over them and he knows how bad it's going to look.
It's almost like he didn't think he was going to be FBI director one day.
Honestly, people might call for the death penalty for anyone in the administration that helped protect the pedophiles. But this is assuming there is anything coming back for the liberals in 2026 or 2028 elections, Jason. Now, Trump said on that weird social media experiment thing that he has. What do they call that?
The lie social?
Yeah, whatever that is, pretending to be Twitter, that thing.
It looks just like it, except red.
Yeah. He's giving the DOJ 30 days to release the files. And he signed the bill super fast like he was cool with it.
And he didn't take any video or pictures.
Yeah, he didn't take any video.
Remember how normally he does it and he...
Yeah, he has to show it around. He didn't do that. He didn't show that one around. He wasn't real proud of that one.
I'm very happy he had to sign that.
But ladies and gentlemen, why didn't he do it up front? Okay, so we're here today, right? We're here today. It's November of 2025. We're here. It's not summertime of 2025. It's not the beginning of the year when he became president. We are now almost a year into the presidency of Donald Trump. And we're way down the line here, quite a few months. He could have put it out at any time that he wanted to. He seems really cool with it today and now. And he's fine with putting it out. So then why did we have to go through a month of shutdowns? Why did we have to go through, or 2 months almost of shutdowns? Why did we have to go through all the dragging of the feet with every person that questioned it? Also, we've got a news story that's popped up simply from questioning of the Epstein files. A new whole scandal and problem has popped up for Donald Trump. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. But nothing matches up, Jay.
No, it doesn't.
None of the people involved who might be liberal or even around anyone in Trump's world ever.
What?
Epstein was always around Trump's world.
Like, Trump is literally in every photo they have of him.
Okay. The emails, the emails, by the way, guys, so you believe the dump of emails that were put out. Right? Yeah. They put out the Jeffrey Epstein dump of emails. Mark Epstein's even been on the news cycle chirping in with his opinions on things. Like, you guys believed those. Okay. I've got 20,000 emails, basically, or whatever, 12,000, 13,000, 15,000, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Thousands of emails. None of them really talk about Clinton. None of them talk about Bush. None of them talk about this. They all talk about Donald Trump. All their jokes are personal inside conversations about Putin and Trump. Like,
he's mentioned like over 2,000 times or something.
Guys,
in those emails.
That's what I'm saying. None of this matches up. Trump being cool with it. He's all over the emails, but then he's cool with it. Either they're going to put out completely redacted, I mean just black out every single word, which... That sounds like some troll crap.
Right. What it is it's Trump's stuff coming back to bite him. He just talks and rambles on when he's running for stuff, and now he has to put up, and he doesn't want to, and he's super mad.
Let's call it out on this show right now, Jason. Donald Trump is going to put out completely redacted version of the Epstein files to say, I released it like you wanted.
Right, here it is.
And the reason he'll do that is because, like a James Woods on Twitter, he wants to troll everyone because that's what he started as. I was trolling people on Twitter. That's why Elon trolled people on Twitter. Elon just decided I'm going to use, because Elon really was a billionaire, and Trump was talking that he wanted to be a billionaire the first presidency around. This one, he's worked his way up there. But the last one, he was talking a big game.
He's manipulating.
Elon was there. Elon just was like, I'll buy the whole social media platform. In fact, I'm so dumb, I'll double value it and buy it and then devalue the hell. Like, that's how much money that Elon was messing with.
This information is that important.
Literally. I don't know if you heard this today, but this is a really important thing. I just want to put this, a little pause in the Epstein thing, because it's important what I'm getting ready to tell you. there was stuff that came out of that other scandal that we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes.
The piggy scandal,
Yes.
I like to call
Yes.
it. And one of the things that came out of it was Grok, Elon's AI, was every time anybody was posting a picture, a meme, a question about it, or taking one of the tweets and just throwing it into Grok, because you can do that. You can just click the Grok thing and it'll automatically start analyzing the tweet and telling you things about the people that sent the tweet. Literally, you can go to any tweet, click on Grok, it'll analyze the tweet, it'll tell you who sent the tweet, how honest they think it is or not. But what I noticed is anytime there was something that was obvious, it was an obvious illegal act or a crime or anything like that, every time I would click on one of those tweets, Grok would try to find a way to make it okay-ish to exist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Grok's trying to bail out people.
That's what he did.
Or did you see Grok? Someone asked Grok who would win in a fight between Mike Tyson and Elon Musk, and it said Elon Musk.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm talking about,
Elon
dude.
Musk's determination.
But that's what I'm talking about, bro. Like I'm talking about the fact that what I found out today was, so on this claim with the piggy thing. There were people that were talking about the different people that were associated with who was being yelled at, and that Grok just wasn't figuring it out, and then tried to walk back statements that were a part of memes that were obvious, like, oh, he's just being playful and stuff. They even had to put out a statement from Grok that said, well, we had to go in and adjust some things. Well, the reason I bring this up, Jason, is
they did.
They had to go in. Now, listen, I understand you build the AI. But once I build the AI and I press go, the AI is supposed to AI. The AI doesn't need you to web develop it. It doesn't need you to information develop it. It doesn't need you because it should be able to pick out moral obvious things that are bad and go, that's not a good thing. But yours didn't. It tried to make it okay. We're going to talk about the Coast Guard in a little while. They tried to make some things okay today. We'll talk about that soon. But my point being is, if you can go in and adjust the answers Grok is giving, it's not an AI.
No.
It's an information gathering system that can search and code very quickly. It's like a codex. It can search really quickly, think of it like a huge Dewey Decimal System, like a huge card catalog that can search any information. And by the way, how many times, Jason, have you gone on and played with Grok or ChatGPT or another AI of some sort? How often have you done that over the last couple of years?
A little bit.
A few times, right?
Grok is now a partisan.
Oh, I don't need to know which ones. I just need to know.
But Grok is now a partisan search engine. ChatGPT just gives it to you straight. There's not a lot of its opinion in that.
Well, all right. So the value that I do. Okay, now we're going in a different direction, and I don't mind this because we're getting up close to the break anyway. But
yeah,
Grok, I see what you're saying. Somebody always makes something people like a MySpace, all right? And then you realize there's little quirks about the MySpace that just aren't great. The top 8 friends, cool idea for the time, but it's really not something that's going to work. It creates divisiveness and problems. Like other things, the way that the messaging worked, like it just was a little weird. In fact, to this day, I still think Twitter's messaging could be a lot better because for an app that claims to be the place everyone goes to talk, you definitely can't talk easily to each other the way you think you can.
Messages on
Twitter. You can't leave voice. You can't do anything. It's just really, really odd. Facebook came along and made MySpace and all the things with MySpace easier. Anybody could be your friend. Everybody was your friend. And then you could just post pictures easier and music easier and all that. All that became easier. And we go like, oh my God, Facebook's better. Grok's the same thing. ChatGPT did it first. They did it better. They got to the punch better than everybody else. But then Grok came along and said, oh, well, ChatGPT never goes to the internet and actually searches up and analyzes anything on the internet. Oh, well, we're going to make that free. Then ChatGPT was, oh, we have that, but you have to pay for it. And then Elon's like, well, I'm not going to charge people for that. The AI should be able to AI. And if you want further, deeper, better AI things that we're developing, that's when you can pay for it. So my point being, though, Jay, I brought up the AI, is People have been putting in stuff into AI now for 5 straight years.
Yeah.
Opinions, thoughts, morals, moral dilemmas, things that are arguments, family problems. Hell, there are people that are putting secrets about their lives into Grok and AI and all this around there. So, ladies and gentlemen,
that one guy.
AI is getting more than enough information to do its job well. It doesn't need Elon to stay on top of it. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back and talk more about these Epstein files when we return here on The Left Hook.
DJ, please pick up your phone. I'm on the request line.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy days to be here with us every single Saturday. That's right, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time at WIBHradio.com. That's where you can find The Left Hook every single week. Sometimes with me, sometimes with Jason, sometimes with others. Sometimes we're keeping it moving. We're keeping it moving. We're keeping it grooving and everybody. But I feel like Jason's going to be on quite a bit, and I'll tell you why, guys. It seems like every week there's new 3 things that we both can just run in on. We brought up cat turd this morning.
Cat turd, yeah.
Yeah, and you're blocked by cat turd.
I am. For a while.
For a long while, but then you were talking. Tell everybody what we were talking about.
Well, so someone trolled. Well, I don't think they specifically trolled cat turd, but they put out that Zoran Mandami has said he wants to require all New York school children to learn Arabic numerals.
Right.
Which are
numbers. Yeah.
Numbers. That's just the origin of numbers.
The origin of numbers is they were called Arabic numerals.
Origins,
yeah.
as Trump says.
Exactly.
That's numbers. That's just their name. And he put on exclamation points. I told you all. I think he ended up taking it down from what I understand. But come on, people. You know. Come on.
All right.
Right?
Every day. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Arabic numerals turns into a viral thing that you see. You're like, they go crazy. Okay. Jason, we were talking about the Epstein files.
Yes.
Trump signed off for them to be released. This is the deep state. Yeah. This is the deep state, the swamp, the dark state, as Elon likes to call. This is what it is. Yeah. Oh, no, we released files. No, you dragged your foot for 3 months.
Right.
You argued with everybody. You even let Kash Patel look like a moron for the last year. Literally. Yeah. He went up like the second month of your presidency in front of Congress and told the Stu Peters story about being...
Nothing.
I don't know who that guy is. I never did any of that. So we talked about it on the Occupy Democrat show. Dude. He's the one who wanted the Epstein files released the most.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody but him and Dan Bongino wanted it more. And Trump put him in position to do it. And then, all of a sudden, it was, this isn't...
Right.
Because you guys didn't really know Donald Trump. You were just super fans on the internet. And like Tim Pool and all these beanie hat wearing douchebags, you guys finally found your way to someone who knew him, like a Laura Loomer who knew someone who knew him, and then they got to be your friend and talk to you. And then you're like, I'm crazy, and so's my buddy Dan Bongino.
Yeah.
And we're crazy about Epstein. And you're like, well, the Epstein thing's a big deal to me. How much do you want them released? Oh, I want them released really, really badly.
Right.
Okay, perfect, because I'm going to need someone to work with me on this. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Kash Patel shows him to Dan Bongino and every other line's Trump, Trump, Trump.
Yeah, like, exactly.
We've got to hide this.
And that's the problem. He got in and he finally saw it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are Congress people that have seen sections of what we're talking about. I'm not saying that this is a troll thing or I'm trying to be funny with you or they've gone on TV. They have seen, they are on the oversight committee in regards to the Epstein file.
They know stuff.
They have said Donald Trump is brought up in there for a 13-year-old's rape in a court case.
He's in there.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Did you hear what I just said? The President of the United States is alleged to have raped a 13-year-old girl.
Think about that.
Whether he was 30 years old, whether he was 50 years old, or if he was 77, 8 years old, like right now, if it was your 13-year-old daughter and Donald Trump wanted to rape her, how cool would you be with that, Republican? Tell me, how cool would Jesus and God and your pastor at your church be with that idea? Because all of you are online right now with me and Jason, arguing with us, telling us that we're the worst people that have ever existed.
We're the pedophiles.
By the way, you've told us that we're the pedophiles. You've told us that we're horrible.
Yeah.
You said we called you Nazis. You said all these things. I'm a moderate. I even pulled from the Republican side. Jason isn't even a die-in-the-wool Democrat like you think.
No.
You guys are nuts to think everybody's just running around and just...
Yeah.
No, it's about raping children, and that is not good.
Right? Like, making fun of Joe Biden doesn't make us mad. We're not cult members.
Illegal. The word illegal. Do you understand the definition of the word illegal?
Yes.
Because it seems to be the guy who's got a kid in soccer who's at Home Depot trying to buy a light bulb that you drag out and beat in the street and call him illegal.
Yeah.
And then he shows up with his Purple Heart from the military and says, I worked for you and took a bullet. So your criminal ICE ass could drag me out. I've never even been to jail. I got a Purple Heart and never been to jail. You're an ICE agent who's been to jail 3 times.
Yeah.
Shut up. So,
grabbing people.
The word illegal, Jason, do we think the people who are Republican or conservative know the definition of the word illegal?
I think they do.
Do you think they truly do? Because we just gave them an example of the illegals that aren't illegals. And now we have the Epstein files that they said aren't illegal and they're not this, but it's all illegal. Now we have the newest thing, Jason. The newest piece.
Yes.
The piggy pie piece.
Oh, boy, isn't he great?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you paid attention, but our friend Donald Trump went onto his little plane, Air Force One, you like to call it, right?
Yeah,
right? Everybody likes to call it Air Force One. He went on to Air Force One, ladies and gentlemen, and in front of a group of reporters once again. And he did it later that day to Mary Bruce, I think, with MSNBC or what? Yeah, told her to shut up because she was asking every person who asked about the Epstein files.
Yeah, he gets so mad.
He gets angry at, and he has done it now in multiple press conferences over the last week.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter whether MSB or MBS or whatever, Mohammed bin Salman
murderer,
is sitting next to him or somebody else. The minute they bring it up, he starts screaming at him and telling them that they're horrible. Well, on the plane, he looked this one reporter in the face and he said, "Quiet, piggy."
Yeah.
And it was clear as day. And then they all went online. They said, oh, there's a woman named Peggy, and she's a reporter. Yep, there are people named Peggy. She wasn't on the plane.
Yep.
There was a woman named Catherine. She wasn't on the plane. This person went on the plane. That person went on the plane. There were so many people. And then New York Times, they nailed. I think it was a Catherine that was actually on the plane. Now that I think about it,
yeah, it's some New York Times reporter.
The New York Times put it out there and let everybody know that this did happen. That picture of him pointing, and we don't see who the reporter is. Nobody sees who it is.
Yeah.
She's off camera. Him screaming, "Piggy, quiet, piggy."
Yeah, quiet.
That's misogyny. And I know that it's the word piggy. And I get it. Listen, you want to know what the White House thinks about this? This is what the White House thinks about this, Jason. Right here.
What did the president mean when he called a reporter piggy?
Look, the president is very frank and honest with everyone in this room. You've all seen it yourself. You've all experienced it yourselves. And I think it's one of the many reasons that the American people reelected this president, because of his frankness. And he calls out fake news when he sees it. He gets frustrated with reporters when you lie about him, when you spread fake news about him and his administration. But he also is the most transparent president in history. And he gives all of you in this room, as you all know, unprecedented access. You are in the Oval Office almost every day asking the president questions. And so I think the president being frank and open and honest to your faces rather than hiding behind your backs is frankly a lot more respectful than what you saw in the last administration, where you had a president who lied to your face and then didn't speak to you for weeks and hid upstairs and didn't take your questions. So I think everyone in this room should appreciate the frankness and the openness that you get from President Trump on a near daily basis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, real quick.
He's great.
Just so that you know, if you've never been to the White House, upstairs would be the Oval Office. So what she said was Joe Biden decided to sit in the Oval Office and do his job. hide in the Oval Office, the place where Trump hides. In fact, while you're in the middle of doing this little press thing, Trump's probably hiding in the Oval Office right now.
Executive time.
What is crazy about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that she just made it okay.
Right.
That's the White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt and her official stance that the White House is giving for why Donald Trump's allowed to call a female reporter a pig. And as a female herself, not wearing her cross, that she was so proud to talk about so damn much in the first 2 months of her being press secretary.
Right. Her husband,
now all of a sudden, her husband, who's like a geriatric.
He's literally twice as old as she is.
Like he's got to be a geriatric.
She's
He's got like 60 years old,
yeah,
something
60.
like that.
She's 20. Every time she answers anything, she does two things on every answer. She hits the press, and she hits Joe Biden. Every single time, no matter what she answers.
Now,
it's ridiculous.
Why would the press be allowed access
right?
to the president? Listen, you need to understand. Okay.
We're allowed.
All right. Okay. All right. Oh God, it hurts my head. Okay.
It's crazy watching people act this way when you know what's true.
It hurts my head.
And then they say crazy things. And like they talk about, his numbers are great, prices are down, gas is down. All of that is not true. And we watch him, and it's what you're doing right now. It breaks your brain.
It does. Ladies and gentlemen, every one of you who's listening to this podcast, short of Donald Trump, that includes Stephen Miller. I'm talking to Stephen Miller right now, literally, as one of the Americans who are one of the 340 million that are not Donald Trump. Okay? Stephen Miller, that guy. The guy that, yeah, exactly. Okay. Stephen Miller gets up during the day. Now, his job is to work for the President of the United States. But let me tell you something. I guarantee you when Stephen Miller gets up in the morning, he's not really worried about Donald Trump. I bet he goes and poops, and I bet he takes a shower, and he shaves, and he does all this stuff. And I bet he doesn't think about Donald Trump the entire time. In fact, I bet he's putting his creamer into his coffee. He's not thinking about Donald Trump. In fact, I bet there's times during the day he has to go pick his kids up. He might have to go pick up some stuff from the dry cleaner. Like, he's got a lot of things. But, guys, did you hear what I just said? It sounded like all of your lives, too. You get up, you take your showers, you go to work, you do whatever you got to do during the day. Maybe you have to leave work early and go to a doctor's appointment. But at what point, Jason, in your day-to-day, and by the way, you talk politics at the top of the food chain with me and Occupy Democrats and the big dogs. You're one of us.
Yeah.
You work a regular job.
Yeah.
You have both sides of eyes watching you and then working the real life job, doing the thing.
Doing the stuff.
How much of your life is spent thinking about Washington, D.C., Donald Trump, or the President of the United States, or anything that has to do with the presidency of the United States at any given time? Go ahead. Give me your...
Basically, anytime you have to process the news. If I don't have to think about Donald Trump, I never do.
There it is. If I don't have to think about Donald Trump, I never do. If the news doesn't have a story on to where they're telling me about it, I never. So, I think you and me famously came on to the Q.
Yes.
The Q Now, when we were doing the Q Now, when we had the Q Now.
Classic show.
Very classic. Left Hook is getting there, bro. I'm working on it. I'm trying. I'm trying to get it there. I know it's just starting, and we're hoping to get back to where we were at, but we're working on it. We're working on it. Now, we were talking about Donald Trump.
Yes.
And we're talking about people living their lives. Most of you never deal with Donald Trump or Washington, D.C. the majority of your day.
Yeah, no, never.
Like he said, unless the news is on, it never reaches me. So, we don't need to cover the presidency of the United States. It's not important. What is important is where our money is being spent.
Yes.
And how it's being spent. That's important. Who is getting involved in our money? So when Doge is going through with Elon and his chainsaw, we want to know about that. We don't care that Elon and Kash went to the UFC fight with Donald Trump. We don't care about that. We don't care about Karoline Leavitt and whether she has a cross on or not.
No.
We just want to know if you are a woman and you feel that you should be a female role model for other young women in the world and the kinds of things that you should be saying in that position.
Yeah.
That's what we worry about. We're not worried about Donald Trump. So we do all of our lives and don't worry about Donald Trump. We don't need you. We don't need the press corps. We don't need the presidency of the United States. Honestly, like I said, a few years we came on this show and said, if everybody just ignored Donald Trump on every single show, he'd pretty much go away.
Yeah.
Nobody would pay attention or care.
It just makes it so hard.
Now, we talk politics. That's what we like to talk and discuss. That's what we're doing with you all right now. We've got more. We got more of a show still to come. We're going to take a quick break here on the show. When we come back, we're going to finish up with our friend Jason Kull here.
Yes.
Because I do want to hear Jason's opinion on these last couple of stories. We'll be back right after this. Hey, welcome back to the show. Mark Bland, Jason Kull, The Left Hook. And we appreciate you guys sitting in with us, listening to us banter on about politics and everything in between. Now, Jason, this last one's an interesting one.
Yes.
And the reason it's an interesting one is, I'll tell you, it has to do with members of our United States Congress.
Yes.
Asking military members to do something unique. Okay. And you know what I'm talking about. Obviously you do, but I think everybody needs to hear what we are talking about because this is a big story. It's quite huge. So pay attention just for a couple minutes, then we'll talk about it.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
Against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is those Congress people there, as you saw or heard. And they put out a video that we just played for you that tells the CIA, urged the CIA and others to refuse orders from the sitting commander-in-chief. Now, they didn't tell or demand that anyone refuse orders from the commander-in-chief. That's not what was said.
Yes.
You can rewind and listen, but they didn't say that. They said if you're giving illegal orders.
Yes.
Illegal. Remember I said earlier, I don't think Republicans understand what the word illegal means anymore. The definition of illegal, they have no clue.
Not with this anyway.
Whether it's illegals over the border, the word illegal in regards to crimes with children, or illegal in regards to the Constitution and just doing crimes. I don't think you guys understand illegal.
No, I don't think
Now,
they do.
they didn't do anything illegal or wrong. Telling people to not follow illegal orders is not illegal.
No.
That's an opinion put out by those individuals. Now, Trump is trying to claim sedition.
Yes. Kill him.
And that death.
Yeah. Punishable by death.
Punishable by death. Now, what is insurrection, Jason?
That's overthrowing the government, right? An uprising.
Would that be treason, Jason?
Also punishable by death.
Is that punishable by death,
Yes,
Jason?
Of course.
Would Donald Trump even be here if anything he said is true or real or makes sense? Because how many people? Okay. They said Vindman treason.
Yeah,
he should be dead.
Yeah.
What about the guys that the WikiLeaks? What about all them? They're not dead. There's no treason. You love them. You pat them on the back. You brought them back in. You told them that Mar-a-Lago was their new home. What are you talking about?
He pardoned all those insurrectionists.
You pardoned all the January 6th people.
You know what's great about this? It comes on the heels of what we were discussing before we got on the air about the Coast Guard no longer using a swastika is no longer considered a hate symbol.
Right. This is the type of stuff.
This, you're mad that they don't want to follow illegal orders?
By the way, you guys think that it's... Okay. We are both, like I said, liberally minded type individuals.
I would say that.
I'm a moderate. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Where we live is a very red state.
Yes.
We know other liberals. We talk to them.
Yeah.
We haven't been losing our minds over anything Donald said, whether he called that woman piggy or not. We're not happy about it.
It's not even shocking anymore.
We don't want him to do it, but like Jason just said, it's not shocking anymore.
Like what they do. Here's the thing. It's funny how, speaking of Twitter, we talked earlier, the attacks we get, we're the pedophiles, but meanwhile, he's actively trying to stop pedophile information from coming out to the point where he reacts poorly. We're called Nazis. But they don't want Nazi symbols to be offensive anymore. And
every accusation is
there.
What?
It is. That was coming back. An admission of guilt.
There it is,
and it's
Jason.
proof every single day,
guys.
Right?
Yeah. And so I think that it's horrible that the president of the United States decided to put out that these people are being seditious. Now, the definition of sedition, they do technically fall under that, guys, but. You're in the United States of America, bro, and all 340 million of us that are existing right now, well, there's a few since you became president that got put in the ground. So they're not here with us. But the majority of us were here 5 years ago. We know what things looked like a while ago.
Yeah.
We understand where prices were. We understand the types of things that people were doing. We even understand what January 6th was, and we saw it with our own eyes.
It happened live.
If you didn't go to jail for treason and get punishable by death for insurrection and the January 6th stuff, then they for making a comment on some stupid... Once again, you know what? I need all of you Republicans to get off of social media. All of you. Karoline Leavitt, off of social media. Donald Trump, off of social media. If you're a Republican, get off of social media. I don't want to see your posts. I don't want to see you putting anything up. I don't want to see you talking about anything. If you run any part of the United States government and you are an elected Republican official, get off of social media. That's it. That's where you guys are living in this reality that has all this craziness going on. That's where Epstein is a Democrat. That's where all this other stuff. Offline in the real world, I got 20,000 emails and they're saying you blew Bubba.
Speaking of Karoline Leavitt, you know what I just thought of?
What?
Remember a week or so ago, Megyn Kelly said that.
Wait. Before you go any further, you brought up the swastikas with the Coast Guard.
Yes.
Bro.
That's right.
Again. We were all here years ago. We know how the real world works. Swastikas and Sig Heils and all that craziness that you guys are into. No one understands why you're into people who lost.
They are Confederates.
You guys are really into losers. Groups of people that really beat their chest a lot, say a lot of dumb things to random people, lose a lot, and then lose the war, lose everything.
Yes.
Everything is losing in your world. Whether it's the Confederacy, those are all Democrats. Okay, now you're fans of Democrats? So which is it? Are they loser Democrats or were you a loser and a Democrat? I don't know. You keep confusing it. Now I've got Donald Trump with this. Losers.
It's just hate. Hate connects them. That's
Guys, it's all ridiculousness. It's all online, Twitter, troll, BS. Twitter looks like Parler now.
Oh, yeah.
You go on to Parler the way it used to be back in the day, and that's what Twitter looks like now. It looks horrible. It looks like a waste of time. But a lot of people like me and Jay over there. A lot of people know who we are, so we like to talk to the people over there. The rest of you need to get off of there. We post on there because it's part of our job. It's what we do. We talk politics, and we've got people that we answer to that want us to post things and put up things about politics. Outside of that, we don't care. Like, we're not there. You guys live online, but what about you, Mark? I've always said on the show, social media is a necessary evil.
Yes.
That I have to deal with. That came along in my radio career, and then people wanted to know if they could get the show, so I had to find a place to tell them where to get it, and that just worked out.
Yeah.
Do you not, like, the rest of you, get off of the internet. I'm done. Yeah. This is weird. You've got females who worried about their crosses, calling women pigs and making it okay. You've got guys over here talking about the president of the United States is having oral sex with other people of some sort, or it could be a pipe, it could be a bong, it could be something we don't know. Yeah. Bubba is all we know. Yeah. But we've got that going on. We've got the discussion of him possibly being involved in a court case where he was alleged to have raped a 13-year-old girl.
Yes.
The Epstein file crap from the last 5 months. Like, you guys are not paying attention, but we all are.
Yeah.
We know that you're doing bad things.
Yeah, we're keeping score.
Illegal. Let me read the definition of illegal real quick, Jay. Just so that these people understand. I don't even want to go real far to find it. I'm just going to type it in right here. And dictionary says, contrary to or forbidden by law, especially criminal law.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if the person is illegal, then fine, deport them. But prove that they're illegal first. The stuff that Jeffrey Epstein did with those children, the stuff that Donald Trump is accused of, the stuff that everyone in the Epstein files is accused of, illegal.
Well, I mean, come on, they were 15, some of them, right? Megyn Kelly says that's okay.
Donald Trump, you want sedition to matter. Well, that's a criminal law.
Yeah.
So you want things to matter when it comes to the definition of legal and illegal. So that you can prove why it's okay for you to kill those people and get away with it. Now, Jason, I know we didn't talk a lot of fun stuff on this show. I know we didn't get into pop culture.
That's just the world we live in, right?
But when it comes to this situation right here, okay, what are you thinking how this is going to roll? Where's your head at? Like, how are you prognosticating what you see coming down the pipe?
I think finally he's landlocked. He has nowhere to go. I think he never thought the Epstein stuff would come to a head. I mean, obviously, he's just going to call it a hoax. This next 30 days will be spent of him breaking it down. This is why you can't trust anything in it. And
right.
That's how it's going to go.
But it was a Democratic
hoax but now
put together by the Democrats. But now we have to,
investigate the Democrats.
But now we have to investigate the fake hoax that didn't exist.
We're going to investigate the people who started the fake hoax about the fake hoax. Make it make sense, right?
This is the world we live in, ladies and gentlemen.
It's just nuts. And,
the people that made up the conspiracies are mad now that their conspiracies are coming out, and they want to blame everyone but themselves for their own conspiracies.
Oh, yeah. And they're all coming back.
What do liberals and Democrats care about the Epstein file or Jeffrey Epstein as a person?
Yeah,
nothing.
Not at all.
Outside of raping and sexually abusing human beings, nobody cares about Jeffrey Epstein, his money, his dumb island. Nobody wants to be on it. Listen, nobody's going on to any of the news shows and saying, Jason's not, I'm not, no one is going on, oh, we really wish we would have been a part of it. We wish we would have got to be there. No, nobody is, because nobody cares in that world. You're all online, like I just said, talking about it constantly.
All the time.
Online. Get offline.
You know the great irony of this, when Karoline Leavitt talks about Jeffrey Epstein, about 50-year-old men having sex with 15 and 16-year-old women. When Karoline Leavitt was 15, her current husband was 47.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? Karoline Leavitt, who said it's okay to be a misogynistic a-hole to a woman, literally was a 15-year-old girl when her current husband, was 47 years
Just like those
old.
men we all want to see hang.
You're disgusting.
Right?
You're a disgusting group of people. I've got to get out of here on the left hook. Jason Kull, thank you so much for being here on the show. Make sure you check out markbland.net. That's where you can find all the information about the Left Hook Show right here every single Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. WIBHradio.com. Just listen to us. Download, share, tell a friend. We do represent Occupy Democrats. We do share with those guys. And we don't have a problem with that. We're not against Republicans. I'm a moderate. I got tons of Republican friends.
Oh, yeah.
They don't act like the people that we're talking about in Washington, D.C. I can tell you that.
There's a difference between Germans and Spanish.
That's a good point. We'll see you guys next time on the show.